What up? This your man, Ole Man Winter, coming right back at you with another episode of No Holds Barred. This is hardcore, real raw, unfiltered, uncensored, real talk. Around here, we speak what we feel and feel what we say. Today, we're speaking on the war of white supremacists in the Ukraine. So let's get to it. Cue the intro. Welcome to No Holds Barred. We're leaving permanent scars, beating odds, living large, giving game no charge. Ole Man Winter's your host. Some say he's doing the most. We can roast, have a toast as we brag and boast. Let's go. Yeah. It's your man, Ole Man Winter. And before we get started, I'd like to remind you all to like the video one time for your mans. Subscribe if any of you ain't subscribed yet. Leave a comment and share the content. All of the above is much appreciated. Now let's get to it. You know what? A wise man once said,
War never changes. The end of the world occurred pretty much as we'd predicted. Too many humans, not enough space or resource to go around. The details are trivial and pointless. The reasons, as always, purely human ones.
That's from one of my favorite video game series, the Fallout series. Shout out to Fallout. Fair use is in full effect, you know what I'm saying? So don't come around here fucking with me about playing that little clip, you know what I'm saying? This is for educational purposes and all of that jazz. But yeah, man, we talking about war, you know. These motherfucking Russians and shit, they done got out here and they done pulled the trigger on these Ukrainian motherfuckers and shit, and they at each other's throats, you know. The Russians then invaded Ukraine, and I ain't no international news ass motherfucker, no shit like that. And I ain't too much concerned about what these white motherfuckers got going on between themselves, other than, as you know how the shit affects, you know, the black folks, the black community and shit like that. And this shit does. Things that happen internationally can affect us as well as the rest of the motherfucking country and shit like that. So we have to be aware and mindful of all of our surroundings, what the white supremacists are doing amongst each other, because everything that happens, and even when white folks are going against each other, even when the white supremacists are going against each other, they all just vying and jockeying to see who's going to be the one in control of dominating the system of white supremacy and instilling their own version of how to apply most effectively the system of white supremacy and keep it in power. Trust and believe that everything that's happening is power moves, and it's all in these people's personal mind frames, the betterment of the system. Again, the system of white supremacy. I never shy away from that fact. Almost every aspect of society worldwide, every decision that's made is one to further improve and refine the system of white supremacy. And these white supremacists all have different ideologies on the most effective ways to actually implement the system worldwide. Then you have people that want to impose their version of the system on others that have a different aspect and a different idea on how they want the shit implemented. So once these forces reach a boiling point or a motherfucking need, as far as in this ever evolving chess game that we always talking about, as far as black versus white, they have to do certain things. They might have to knock each other off or whatever, take each other over or whatever the fuck may be. And this is basically a case of that. Two white supremacist factions, two white supremacist countries going at it. The Russians, for whatever chess move that they believe that they need to make, decide they need Ukraine under their banner, so they're invading in order to basically get acquire a piece of what was once lost from the failed previous Soviet Union. Um, Someone was telling me that, basically in a nutshell, that this is just basically old white motherfuckers trying to go out with a bang. And it's hard to argue with that, from a simplistic standpoint. That may very well be what this is. You got these old guys, Vladimir Putin, I believe even Professor Black Truth, in one of his video essays, he pointed out it seemed Vladimir Putin may be in poor health. And hey, a person like that who's basically a dictator that has a facade of being democratically elected or whatever the fuck they call themselves doing over there. If you feel like you going out, he might be a zero sum. I want to take all you motherfuckers with me type shit. You never know. I don't put shit past the white supremacists because ultimately their belief is, and that's the point of creating these nuclear weapons, is if I can't have it, nobody can. We do have to be wary of that mindset from the white supremacists, period. Not just the Russians, these American motherfuckers, white supremacists, anywhere in the world that has access to this type of world destroying technology. Because before the white supremacists will relinquish this earth to black people, they rather destroy this motherfucker first. They'd rather take it out. And I wholeheartedly believe that they created all of this shit in order to have the ultimate end game move, if it ever was necessary. If there was some type, I wholeheartedly believe if some type of actual disease or something came out and it targeted white folks with like 100% or 99% death rate, just white people, and it just leave the rest of society alone. It was just somehow just strictly based on white people's genetics, that they push them buttons from nation to nation, from one end of the world to the other, and let the whole world die off. That's just how egomaniacal the white supremacist mindset is. They actually have a mind frame of, if I can't have it, none of you motherfuckers can. We will not let you niggas inherit the motherfucking earth. Again, I've always talked about their genetic memory. Their subjugation, their past subjugation is ever embedded in their genetic memory in past civilizations. And under any circumstances, they do not want to have to be second fiddle to black people ever again on this earth. And our nature as black people, the one thing that's baffling is, even if the white people were second or subjugated by black people, then black people, our nature is nowhere near as vile and vicious as the white supremacists. So even if they were ruled by black people, it was a benevolent ruling. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was ever subjugated or subjected to the type of treatments and horrors that us FBA black folks on this soil had to suffer and endure during the hundreds of years of slavery on this continent, which was the worst atrocity ever ever inflicted on any group of people in the history of the world. By far, bar none, you can never point out any atrocity that went over a span of centuries to one specific group of people that was as harsh or vicious. Now, you've had wars that's lasted hundreds of years. They had like stuff called 100-year wars and things like that of that nature in the past. But that's just war. We're talking about that's okay. We killing you, you killing us. We going at it. We're talking about the subjugation and degradation of a people of a vile, inexcusable nature. There's nothing in world history that could ever compare or compete with what has happened to black folks regarding the slave trade and the treatment of slaves, particularly again here in the United States of America, and the slavery. I'm not going to downplay any of the slavery that happened during the transatlantic slave trade, even throughout the diaspora, South America, the Caribbean, and all of that shit. This was some of the most vicious, vile slavery ever implemented on the face of the planet. But getting back to the white supremacists and their infighting, again, this shit is just about who has the better method to implement the system of white supremacy on a worldwide scale. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is basically introduction to something bigger. People are throwing around World War III and this, that, and the third. It could very well be that in the end. I'm about to play, and this could be one of the key reasons why what I'm about to play now. And this is regarding banks, the banking. Other countries, I guess the international banking system is called SWIFT, and they're trying to now cut off basically Russia's supply of money in a nutshell. But fair use is in full effect. I'll play this, and you all can take of it what you may.
I will now propose to EU leaders the following measures. First, we commit to ensuring that a certain number of Russian banks are removed from SWIFT. This will ensure that these banks are disconnected from the international financial system and harm their ability to operate globally. SWIFT is the world's dominant global interbank payment system. Cutting banks off will stop them from conducting most of their financial transactions worldwide and effectively block Russian exports and imports. Second, we will stop Putin from using his war chest. We will paralyze the assets of Russia's central bank. This will freeze its transactions, and it made it impossible for the central bank to liquidate assets. And finally, we will work to prohibit Russian oligarchs from using their financial assets on our markets. All of these measures will significantly harm Putin's ability to finance his war. And they will have an severely eroding impact on his economy. Putin embarked on a path aiming to destroy Ukraine. But what he's also doing, in fact, is destroying the future of his own country.
So yeah, they basically are trying to starve them out. That's a basic starve out tactic. We're gonna deny you as many resources as possible and hope you wither away and die. Everybody is America and everybody else are issuing strong sanctions against Russia. So, a lot of countries, most countries, they depend on certain things from other countries and money and whatever the hell. I don't understand why they do all, especially America participates in a lot of this shit, because we can produce most of the shit that we need here without the need of outside motherfuckers and shit like that. Even oil, you know what I'm saying? We have one of the biggest oil nations in the country, but we import ridiculous amounts of oil, which is, like I say, we don't want to use our own resources, but we want to continue to import from other people being dependent and beholden to these other countries. But that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But as far as these Russian motherfuckers, they basically are just trying to starve them out, sanction them, cut off their money supply, box them in, and I guess that's what they believe is the tactics that could be used to diffuse this situation. But I'm pretty sure that Putin and these Russian motherfuckers, they anticipated all of this. They was issuing all type of bullshit threats and everything like that anyway before they got started warning America not to get involved. So again, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Is Putin, you know what I'm saying, to the Russians, is Putin ready to go out with a bang? I'm old. My health might be fading. This might be my one last hurrah. I miss the old days of the Soviet Union where we had all these countries under our banner and we would, you know, this, that, and the third. And the days of old when we the Soviet Union, we were like the biggest, one of the biggest superpowers on display, and everybody, all eyes was on us, worried about what we were doing. Everybody feared us. He may feel like they've lost their stature, their standing. They don't look as strong as they used to. It could be a myriad of things being the reason. But again, this is a war of the white supremacists. Who is going to be the dominant white supremacist force in the world? And like I say, it looks like Russia's trying to make their move. They're trying to make their power play. Now, one thing I will give to these white motherfuckers and shit like that is they some tough son of bitches, and this is probably, you know, one of the reasons why we're in this situation with the white supremacists to begin with. These motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, you have to give it to them. You know what I'm saying, they live for this shit. You know, these motherfuckers eat raw meat and animalistic and all this other shit. So this type of shit is the shit that they get up for. This type of shit they live for. So I'm going to translate, but I'm going to play what one of these motherfucking Ukrainian motherfuckers from inside Ukraine, what he has to say about the matter.
Всім доброго ранку.
Good morning, everyone, Ukrainians.
Українці. Зараз в мережі дуже багато з'явилось фейкової інформації,
Much fake information has appeared on the internet.
що, немов я закликаю
And if I had called
складати зброю,
And if I had called to lay down arms, and if there had been an evacuation,
нашу армію і йде евакуація. Значить так, я тут.
here's the situation. I'm here. We won't lay down arms.
Ніяку зброю ми не складемо. Будемо захищати нашу державу.
We will defend our country because our arms are our truth.
Тому що наша зброя – це наша правда. Наша правда в тому, що це
Our truth is that it's our land, our country, our children, and we will defend all of this.
наша земля, наша країна, наші діти. І ми все це будемо захищати. Ось і все.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Glory to Ukraine.
Ось це і є те, що я хотів вам сказати. Слава Україні!
So yeah, the white supremacists in Ukraine ain't backing down. You know what I'm saying? They ain't laying down for these motherfuckers. They trying to give as much as they can get. You know, they talking that shit. They saying we ain't about to lay down no arms. We ain't about to back down. We about to fight for our country. This, that, and the third. Now, Russia's supposed to be a powerhouse. I'm not sure how strong the Ukrainian army truly is. And again, is this going to draw America or Britain or whoever supports Ukraine into this fight? And if that happens, you know, China is Russia's allies and North Korea is Russia's allies. So again, this could potentially be a World War III situation. Who fucking knows? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, black folks, even though we keep an eye on this shit, we still got to keep an eye on our own business too. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a nation within a nation. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're here and our interests are somewhat congruent with the interests of this country, we are victims of this country too. We're a nation within a nation, and we've been victimized by this country. So we can't never subside our own interests in favor of the interests of this country. You know, we have a bone to pick with this motherfucker in our own fucking right. We can't lose sight of our reparations. We can't lose sight of our justice claim. You know, this country still has to make us right. This country still has to make us whole. This country still has to make us full citizens for us to feel any type of way about this country, or have pride or care about defending it or fighting its wars or doing any of the bullshit that they expect of us. But then we're still the lowest man on the totem pole and fourth class citizens. That shit don't make no sense. Again, we have a war that we're still fighting, and our war is never secondary to whatever petty in comparison conflicts the white supremacists have amongst each other, trying to vie and figure out who's going to be the premier white supremacist power throughout the world. We could care less because they're fighting over which one of them gets to subjugate us. So again, we still have our own fight. We still have our own battle. We still have the shit that we need to give a fuck about, and never lose sight of our fight, our war, our ever forever war, our war of hundreds of years that's going on with us against the white supremacists, the ultimate war in this world. So again, it's your man, Ole Man Winter. You know, I ain't got too much to say about these white supremacists infighting and they little petty squabbles and shit like that. I'm just here to say we got to keep an eye on this shit, but at the same time, we always got to keep an eye on the prize on our own shit. You know what I'm saying? On our own business. You know, never lose sight of our reparation struggle. Never lose sight of our justice struggle. You know what I'm saying? Always keep that in the forefront of your mind. And always, when you're looking at this shit, look at it through a lens of from our perspective, because again, we're a nation within a nation. You know what I'm saying? And we got to look at it through the aspect of the global diaspora, as far as the black diaspora, you know what I'm saying, throughout the world. But never from a patriotic standpoint of fuck everything we got going on and we need to all go all in on what these motherfuckers got going on. Hell fucking on. That's a no-no. You know? But I ain't gonna beat y'all ears up about this shit all night long, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. And as we close this thing out, don't forget to hit that like button one time for your man. Drop that comment. Again, I will respond. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you can get an alert every time I drop this heat. Finally, share this content. Turn your buddies on and your friends on to the channel. Let them know what your man, Ole Man Winter, is putting down over here. And that's a wrap. We out. Peace.